Fritz Haber was born in Breslau, Prussia, now Wrocław, Poland, into a wealthy Jewish family. His mother died less than a month after his birth, and he was raised by his stepmother and various aunts. He never attained a close relationship with his father, and was educated at Heidelberg and Humboldt universities, as well as the Technical University of Berlin, studying chemistry.
After graduating from Friedrich Wilhelm University in May 1891, he received his doctorate, and started working for his father's chemical business. However, father and son constantly clashed, and he left. He obtained various academic posts at the University of Jena and University of Karlsruhe. He later obtained a full professorship for physical chemistry at Karlsruhe.
Teaming up with Karl Bosch at BASF, now the largest chemical company in the world, Haber invented a process to produce ammonia from hydrogen and atmospheric nitrogen. This revolutionized the production of fertilizer and chemical feedstocks, of which ammonia is a key ingredient. Today, the food base of half the current world population is based on the Haber-Bosch process. Haber greeted World War I with open enthusiasm, and upon joining up was given the rank of captain. He headed up the chemistry section in the Ministry of War soon after the conflict began. In addition to leading the teams developing chlorine gas and other deadly gases for use in trench warfare, Haber was on hand personally when it was first released by the German military at the Second Battle of Ypres, the 22nd of April to the 25th of May 1915, in Belgium.
Chlorine gas first causes the eyes to sting, then blisters the soft tissues in the lung and throat. This causes a buildup of fluid in the lungs, pulmonary edema, leading to death as the victim drowns in their own body fluids. On 5th of May, 1915, the Germans used chlorine gas at Hill 60. The British official history stated that 90 men died from gas poisoning in the trenches or before they could be got to a dressing station. Of the 207 brought to the nearest dressing stations, 46 died almost immediately and 12 after long suffering. As the war developed, additional and more lethal chemical weapons were used, such as mustard gas, which only needs contact with the skin, and phosgene. Mustard gas was developed by François-Auguste Victor Grignard, who also won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. Fritz Haber met Clara Immerwahr in 1989. She was the daughter of a chemist, and was the first female to be awarded a PhD in chemistry at the University of Breslau. Originally Jewish, she converted to Christianity before marrying Fritz in 1901. In 1902 their first child, Hermann, was born. Reports indicate it was not a happy marriage, and she opposed Fritz's overseeing of chlorine gas usage at Ypres, where 67,000 casualties occurred. On May 1915 she shot herself in the heart with his service revolver, and was discovered by her 12-year-old son. He married again in 1917 to Charlotte Nathan. They had 2 children, Eva-Charlotte and Ludwig-Fritz. However, the marriage was not a happy one and they divorced in 1927. In 1918, Haber was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for his work in perfecting the process to create synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. He received the prize in 1919. No mention was made of his work concerning gas warfare and chlorine gas, or his active participation in overseeing successful gas attacks against Allied troops in Belgium, which resulted in tens or thousands of casualties amongst the unprepared troops. Haber defended gas warfare against accusations that it was inhumane, saying that death was death, by whatever means it was inflicted. During the 1920s, scientists working at his institute developed the cyanide gas formulation Zyklon A, which was used as an insecticide, especially as a fumigant in grain stores. It was the forerunner of Zyklon B, used in the Nazis' program of extermination. The rise of National Socialism in Germany meant that Jewish people were targeted as non-desirables. In 1933 Haber tendered his resignation as the director and professor of the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute, and with the assistance of some eminent people he relocated to England, where he was briefly employed at Cambridge University. His appointment was controversial, in that less than a decade earlier graduates from the university had been amongst those gassed with chlorine at Ypres. Famously, Ernest Rutherford, director of the Cavendish laboratory at Cambridge, refused to shake hands with him.
Hermann Haber committed suicide in 1946. Hermann's eldest daughter, Claire, also committed suicide in 1949 after she had been told her research into an antidote for the effects of chlorine gas was being set aside, as work on the atomic bomb was taking precedence. She was a chemist. Several members of Haber's extended family never survived the ordeal of Nazi concentration camps. After the war, his second wife, Charlotte Haber, née Nathan, settled down in England and became British citizens. Ludwig-Fritz Haber became a renowned British economist, and wrote a history of chemical warfare in WW1. In 1981, the Minerva Foundation of the Max Planck Society and the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, HUJI, established the Fritz Haber Research Center for Molecular Dynamics, based at the Institute of Chemistry of the Hebrew University. Its purpose is the promotion of Israeli-German scientific collaboration in the field of molecular dynamics. The center's library is also called Fritz Haber Library. The institute most closely associated with his work, the former Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Physical Chemistry and Electrochemistry at Dahlem, a suburb of Berlin, was renamed Fritz Haber Institute in 1953 and is part of the Max Planck Society.